and today I'm going to take you thrifting. Hey y'all, this is Amy with This Wholehearted Life. Welcome. If you're new, welcome. We're so glad you're here. And I am so excited that you're here because this is a special video. I am in New York City this week. As you can see, I'm on the Upper West Side. I used to live here, and I've not been able to come back for a number of years. We adopted children, we moved, and with COVID and all the things that have happened in the last several years, it's kept me away. So it's a really sweet time to be here. I was realizing that I left here about 10 years ago, right around this season. I left this time because I was getting married. And so anyway, it's just really sweet to be back in a town that I love. And I get staying in the neighborhood just a few blocks from where I lived when I lived here. And today I'm going to take you thrifting. And so I'm so glad you're here. If you're new to our channel, I hope you'll watch all of my New York videos that I created. I have others from other places. Like I have some from Raleigh and Asheville and Tennessee and Chicago, and then just locally where I like to go thrifting. And then also if you're here, because some of you joined our channel, subscribed because of our adoption story. So we also have a playlist for that. So I hope you'll stick around for all of the content that we're putting out, and would love to hear where you're watching from. And then also if you'll just subscribe and come back again. So I'm going to take you thrifting, see what we can find today. And I'm so glad you're here getting to experience New York City with me. And you better believe I'll be throwing in some of my favorite shots, things I see around the city. I'll include those as well. All right, let's go, guys. This is my old block, you guys. I lived in New York for several years, actually close to 6 years. And for most of that time, I lived right here on the Upper West Side. So I wanted to give you a glimpse of my old life from years ago. This is still the Upper West Side, but it's a little bit uptown from where we just were. There's Zabar's. There's a reference from Zabar's on all the New York sitcoms. It's a grocery store. And I'm going to take you guys to a really sweet little bookstore that's on the Upper West Side. If you love old books, you are going to love this visit. All right, so welcome to Westside Books. They have all the genres. They have new releases, but they also, man, they have so many old books. And if you're like me, there's nothing like that old book smell. And so I love, this place is quintessential New York City, and I love how they've organized it, and it's such a small space, yet look at this place. It's just so well done. And you can ask them where books are, and they'll tell you exactly what area to look in. It's very, very well organized. If there's a book you're looking for, especially if it's a little obscure or older, they will probably likely have it. So I'll let you look around for a little bit. In a recent video, I shared with you how I studied in Limoges, France. I had come across a piece of porcelain made in Limoges. And so if you saw that video, you already know this, that I love France. And I found myself just stuck right here at their shelves with all of their old French books. And you'll have to stay tuned to see what I got. Hey, y'all. So glad you're here in my New York City video. And I just wanted to stop the video for 2 seconds and ask you to subscribe. And yeah, I hope that you'll stick around for future videos. I always try to link ones I think you'll like in the description box. And so let's go see more of New York. One of my very favorite spots in New York, obviously is Central Park. So I'm walking in at 72nd Street right now, but I wanted to tell you a few spots that you should definitely check out if you're on the Upper West Side of New York. One is Levine Bakery. They have iconically known chocolate chip cookies. Actually, the chocolate chip walnut is their most liked, I think most sold chocolate chip cookie. They're enormous. They're $5 and they're worth every cent. They serve them to you warm and they are amazing. So that's one space. There's multiple around the city. I think the original is on 74th and Amsterdam. And then there's also Magnolia Bakery, which they have multiples of those around the city. The original Magnolia Bakery was in the Village, but there's one on the Upper West Side. I think it's at 60, I want to say 6 in Columbus, somewhere in there. And they are known for their cupcakes, but they also have amazing banana pudding. So if you're looking for some sweet treats and you're on the Upper West Side, those are not to be missed. So I'm going to show you around. So glad you're here. All right, so come with me. Let's go get a cookie.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I just want one of your chocolate chip walnut cookies, please.
Walnut, anything else?
That'll do it.
$5, please.
I wish you guys could smell this. They serve their chocolate chip walnut cookies warm. Y'all, I'm home. I'm home from a New York trip and I had such a great time. I got to see really, really dear friends of mine and just old roommates, and just, it was a really sweet time. I was working there too, but just be able to take pockets of time and just go for walks and grab a meal and catch up with people that I don't get to see hardly ever. One lives in Australia, and then the others are in New York, or even one is in California. So it was just really cool for us, like, all kind of meet in the city and spend a couple days together. But I'm home and I wanted to show you what I got on this day in particular when I was in New York. And you saw that beautiful little tiny, which is quintessential New York, right? When they cram something into a small space. My husband laughs about New York and he'll say that they'll take a hallway and make a restaurant, and it's really true. I actually ate a little at a French restaurant. I think it was called Amelie's, and it really was like a hallway. It was great food, but it's on the Upper West Side if you're interested. Great food and a really yummy, I think it was like a chocolate mousse dessert that my friend got me. But back to what I got while I was there. I am a sucker for old books. I like to use them in different spots in my house. I will say I keep it very minimal because, again, I don't like having clutter where I can control it. And so, but if I can be selective and pick something that I actually will probably use, but also use it as something to make my home look nice, and something I can treasure. So I got 3 books while I was at this store. And again, I was looking for something old. And I don't know if I've said this on my channel, but I was a French major, of a French degree, and studied in France when I was in college. And so I just love all things French and France or whatever. So I found 3 French books. This one's called La Porcelaine. And I don't know anything about this book. I just knew it was very old. I'll give you a little look at it. And it looked old to me, and it is even kind of coming apart a little bit. So I'm going to have to take care of it. Let me see if I can get a year for you guys on this thing. It was printed in Paris. Let's see if I can give you a little look. My camera skills here, but it just was beautiful. I mean, old and beautiful. And you know, it's got, I don't know what it's about, but I was intrigued by, obviously it's about porcelain, right? But, and I'll tell you guys another story about porcelain in another video. It's kind of funny that I picked this up because where I studied in France was called Limoges, which is where they make the Limoges porcelain, if you're familiar with that. So the back says Bibliothèque de l'Enseignement des Beaux-Arts. Don't make fun of my French, right? So I just love old French stuff, right? Oh, anyway, old books in general, but then like anything little Frenchy. And then this one is Diderot Jacques le Fataliste. And it's just a little book. It's a little orangey red, which I don't have a lot of in my house. We're living in a temporary situation now at what was my grandparents' house. But we're building a home. And so anyway, we're here for a little while. But how I normally, pick things, I typically pick a lot of neutrals and stuff. But this one's doesn't seem as old as the other one, but you know, the weathered pages, and then it has this little cover on it that I will probably take off so you can, have the texture. But I thought just for a little pop of color, and I got this set. It's called the Westsider NYC. It was a little shop, which I've shown you. And then the last one I got, it was this little French one, and it says Manon le Casso. And yeah, it's got some writing in it. So, and I was trying to see if there was a date on this one too, but it's got someone's notes, you know, in French, and I loved that. Hopefully I'm not showing that too quickly to you. I actually haven't spent a lot of time with these, so I'm like eager to see, but it looks like someone like, you know, read through it and made their notes in it, which I actually really like. Like, I like that that's the case. And I'm trying to catch years on these. Some of these don't have the years in the, you know, in the publication, but it doesn't matter to me. I just like that it's old. It feels old, it looks old, and I'm excited to have these. And I'll probably just use them, like, you know, stack them somehow. I have a newer piece that I need to figure out what I'm going to do with it, but right now I just have a few of my like things that feel special to me in there, and they're not even really styled that well. I'll get to it. Or maybe I'll share that with you guys when I get to it. But those are the 3 things I got on this day in New York that I wanted to show you from the Westside bookstore. That's so cute. And if you're ever in New York City on the Upper West Side, be sure to check it out. As I left New York, I remembered the song God of This City by Chris Tomlin. I'm going to leave you with some of those lyrics now. You're the God of this city. You're the King of these people. You're the Lord of this nation. You are the light in this darkness. You're the hope to the hopeless. You're the peace to the restless. You are. There is no one like our God, for greater things have yet to come, and greater things are still to be done in this city. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope you'll come back again. I'll see you next week.